just can't stop, won't stop hustling.
Grinders and granddad's greetings and salutations. Listen, WU-TANG and American Saga, Season 2, Episode 6, entitled Protect Your Neck. This episode centered around just that, the song Protect Your Neck. Power, Divine, RZA, all in one room, meeting of the minds. They're trying to pick a single. Power wants Method Man. Divine, I believe, wants another song. I don't know if they specified what song it was. But Method Man, I thought Method Man was the first single. I know it was a single off that CD, but yeah. So he's like, everybody's feeling Method Man. All the girls like it, yada yada yada. Meth's a star, yada yada yada, which we already know. Even to this day, you know, Meth is the one getting all the work. Besides RZA, and that's crazy to think of that because they wasn't even like the tightest in the clique. But anyway, RZA saying no, we need a song that has all of us. Got to be at the clubs. Obviously, we know a song that's going to turn out eventually, which will be Protect Your Neck. But what we don't know is how this song got started. You know, what was the thought process behind it? You know, how did the architect, come up with this song? So we see him go to a record store and we see a rival beat producer, I guess, who kind of, I guess he like looked up to RZA a little bit because he's looking over his shoulder trying to see what RZA's sampling. And he's saying he had a session with, who did he say? He had a session with somebody, but I think he was lying. He was cap. That shit was cap. But we see him like looking over RZA's shoulder. RZA's like, yo, what the fuck, this nigga weird as hell. And he kind of breezes. He goes up to the cashier. Yo, what did he buy? She like, I don't know, nigga. Like, what the fuck? So we see RZA go back to the lab. And I love what they did with this, and I haven't seen this done, I don't think in a while or at all, but the way he was listening to the record, had the people come in, and then you see a visual of everybody on this record. You see all parts of this record, the drummer, bass, the singers, drummer, I think I said drummer already, but drummer, singer, bass, just everybody that's, and the guitar player, like everybody that's a part of this record is on there. He's seeing them live, and he's taking this part out, and as he's doing it with the fader, they're cutting off or they're speeding up, and I'm like, that's dope. I love the callback they did with his grandpops, because they did, before the episode came on, they did a flashback. They showed him, so his grandpops was kind of like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you gotta let the record play. So it was like these records and these samples were inspired by his granddad, but obviously he got to put a new age spin on them. And I love how every time he took somebody out or brought him in, they're like, yo, what is you doing? And so these people like arguing with each other, and like it was just a convoluted like mess. And I'm like, I love it. He finally just settles on this one beat, and I'm like, this ain't the beat. But he got everybody in the studio. Dennis Ghostface comes late. Obviously he's a parent, and plus, Ghostface don't really mess with people like that, man. He kind of just like, he like to be by himself, or he just him and RZA rocking out. So he in there, he can't even write. Method Man is already ready, of course. Raekwon's ready. ODB tried to write a rap he wrote in third grade when he was 13 and pass it off. And RZA called him out on it, so he went and wrote a new rap. But Deck sets it off, and I love how when they did Spectre Deck's verse, they go into their mind frame and what he's thinking, and he got the spray paint and it's in white. I'm like, yo, the visuals is dope as fuck for like the way they did this episode was dope. Like, this was all about just going into the mind of each member and looking at their creative process and seeing how they came up with these concepts and these words and these rhymes and their rhyme schemes and how they write. Spectre Deck was writing on a pizza box. Pizza box. Like, come on, man. That's passion. You just you just got to get it out. You writing on anything. And like, I just love how they did this. Same thing with Raekwon's verse. You know, everything was like a visual. You know, you see the triple beam, the money on the table, everything that embodied like what a Raekwon verse would be inside his mind. And RZA's seeing this in his mind too, because to him, the tracks stands out when it lights up. So he has to figure out why it's not lighting up in his mind. and he's like, it's not the verses. He come to find out it's the beat. What was up with the engineer dude? He looked scared as hell to be in there. Ethan, I think his name was, or Derek, whatever his name was, but he looked scared as hell to be in there. That was funny, especially when Ghostface goes like, yo, what you do, son? He's like, well, I'm just the engineer. Yo, Dennis, you gotta chill out, man. You gotta stop being so on the edge, man. I know you got shot, brother, but yeah, you gotta chill out a little bit, relax a little bit. We see that Jizza, yo, what is Jizza up to too, man? Jizza be leaving. He got all kinds of, Jizza got some side deals or backdoor deals going on. That's what I'm starting to think. But we see he bounces. Dennis bounces eventually. He can't get his shit off. Method get his shit off. Who else? I believe You Guy got his shit off as well. You Guy had probably the wackest verse on there too. I'm gonna be real with y'all. If y'all want to be real, I'm just be real honest. I don't know what's up with Master Killer, if he's gonna get introduced yet. But he is inside the WU-TANG Clan, so I don't know if they're just omitting him from the show entirely. Maybe he didn't sign off on his rights. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, leave that in a comment for me, or get a comment section for me. But RZA takes us back to the lab, and he's trying to figure out exactly what's not hitting for him, and he just realizes it's the beat, and so he switches the beat up entirely. This time he's doing the same thing what he was doing before with all the artists and instrumentation, but now he has Method Man in there. Method Man ain't going for none of that. Yo, son, could you stop that shit? I'm just like, yo, Dave East do a good job with Meth too, man. I like that shit. Well, he a native New Yorker, so I'm sure it wasn't too hard. Then he brings Dennis up in there. Dennis is getting his mojo back, but he like, yo, this ain't the beat. This ain't the same beat, son. And he was like, yo, this one hitting hard, son. So Dennis kind of like helping him, unbeknownst to him. Like Dennis had a hand in pretty much producing this as well, because he's giving them this input. They go eat, watch some karate flicks, and then he come back and dude, that was the craziest scene where it's just like all these sounds. So he got the instrumentation that he had before from the 70s band. He got the Ghostface in there, and then he got karate chops and kicks, and then all the other members come. They're like, yo, some of them like, yo, what the fuck going on? Some of them just loving it. ODB is loving it. I'm like, this is crazy right now. Like, what's going on? Oh, and I meant to mention when ODB did come from the roof and spit his verse too, man. He got one of my favorite verses on that song too, man. But at the end of the day, they all come together. Jizza winds up coming spitting his verse. RZA spits his verse. Ghostface spits his verse. They come back here to new beat. They feel it. At the same time, Power and Divine come in the studio as well. And they loving it. They like, yo, what you think? He like, man, I got to get these pressed up tomorrow. Like, and that's how Protect Your Neck came about. Overall, I thought it was a decent episode. It was okay. I'm gonna give y'all one more episode to kind of get this slow burn, but this is just the steps they had to take, man. This is what happens when you become a rapper. Like, people think it's just parties and drinking. No, this is the groundwork and the foundation where it comes from. This is the grind that they had to put in constantly in order to reap the fruits and benefits of their labor. That's just what it is. So it was good seeing this. I don't think it was the best episode, but I don't think it was the worst episode either. You know, out of 5 mics, I probably would give it like a 3. But hey, post your comments below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell a friend to tell a friend that it's him again. Peace.